Good evening and welcome to the Orleans Hotel and Casino and the National Finals Tonight Show. Brought to you in part by Cinch, Preferred, Dewshine, Cactus Saddles, Ram, Montana Silversmiths, Budweiser, 14 Hands and H3 Wines, Crown Royal, Absolute, Bullet Bourbon, JP Weisers, Big Tex Trailers, Cal Ranch, LG, Weaver Leather, Boot Barn, Resist All Hats, Rodeo Historical Society, Ecolab, Pilot Flying J, American Cowboy. National Finals tonight with 8-time world champion bull rider Donnie Gay, 8-time world champion cowboy Joe Beaver, and the men and women of the NFR. Sit back, relax, and enjoy National Finals tonight. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Oh, what a nice crowd. Hi, everyone. We are so glad to have you here at our new home for our 9th year of National Finals tonight. Good looking folks right down front. Did you go to the rodeo tonight? Any of you go actually to the rodeo? We're off and running here, and so glad to be here at the Orleans, our new home for National Finals tonight. So I say we just get this thing going. We have a lot of people back there to talk to. Let's get out the stars of our show. And this first gentleman, I call him a star because that's what he asked me to do. He's the 8-time world champion bull rider, the best ever. My buddy Donnie Gay is here. Donnie, how are you?
What'd you say about me
it was good.
again?
It was good.
It was? Okay.
Good rodeo tonight. How are you?
I thought it was real good, yeah.
Yeah. And how do you like the new digs here? Pretty
Well,
nice.
not okay. Get the door open a little quicker, get a little more beer in here. I'm fine with it. I mean, practice makes perfect.
I shouldn't have even asked. Let's get our other co-host out here, shall we? He also is an 8-time world champion cowboy and just an all-around good guy. Joe Beaver is here tonight. Joseph. Yay,
Big Joe in the house.
They already started on Donnie, Dan. Sage wanted to make sure Donnie went to the bathroom before he came out. Sage thought it was funny, but one day he'll be Donnie's age. And
I told him, yeah, just wait.
More than that, you may have to go.
What are you giving away there, Joe? What are you sending out there to the folks?
Purple bands. You know, we started the diabetes deal for the Indian Rodeo, INFR, about 4 years ago. Raised $10,000, got it going for him, handed it to him, said, here you go. So we're doing bands for that this year.
He's a good guy, isn't he?
He has done a
He
lot
is
of
a
things.
good
I
guy.
mean, he's, in the forefront, whenever they started the Tough Enough to Wear Pink and beating cancer to raise money and awareness and stuff, Joe B. he's been front and center.
Yep. Good to have you here, Joe. Season number 9. Are you ready?
Doesn't seem like it started 9 years ago, but here we are, bigger venue, bigger set, same people, different day.
We're good to go. We want to tell you, if you have questions tonight during the show, it's easy for you to send those up. You can text those questions to us. Let me give you the number, and they're going to have that number up throughout the show, but it's 702-983-0638. 702-983-0638 if you have questions. Also, we hope that this is going out to YouTube, and we hope if you get home and want to watch the show since you didn't get enough of it while you're here, or if you want to call somebody and say, I was on between Donnie and Joe or something, it'll be on YouTube. You can do that. Now, in case you didn't get to, would you repeat that? In case you didn't get to go to the rodeo tonight, round 1 is in the books, and Donnie and Joe doing it live for television, but by golly, they're here to do it live for you as well. So round 1, the highlights, great rodeo, I thought, gentlemen. Let's start it off. If you're ready in the back there, gentlemen, let's roll it. Round number 1, bareback riding, Donnie Gay.
All right. Well, when you come to the national finals, you got to come with all the cylinders loaded because you want to make as good a showing as you can ever jump. Mark the bareback horse out, Tim O'Connell. This horse bucking, changing directions, but this guy is really going after the money because a lot of effort right there. Watch how fast his feet are beating the horse to the ground with his feet over the shoulders every jump. Tim O'Connell scores 84.5 points, sets the stage in the bareback riding. It's going to be tough all week long, but they got to get on 10 of those monsters.
Yeah, and that's not fun, even one. In the steer wrestling tonight, it was the old guy's night.
My fantasy guy.
Casey Jones. Yeah, me and Donnie, we check that every night for the tattoo. Electric set of steers. Honest to goodness, high school kids, they can throw these steers in 6, 5 all day. They're that good. Casey Jones gets a good head catch. Riley Duval has him in his lap. The difference is when that steer gives his nose and is ready to throw, Casey's ahead of him, hooks up, flat fall fast, 3.4 wins the first go-around. Best night of team roping we've had in opening round ever. Team ropers showed up. Watch this run. I mean, just nails the barrier, spinning Jenny hooks it on him. Ryan Moats might have made the best decision all week. He takes one swing extra. Watch how quick Sin and Jenny gets on it. Now, these steers are big and they're strong. When that steer turned right there, you get a good angle. Ryan Moats waited till his feet came together. He roped 2 feet, 4-1. You had to be 4-7 to place. Great night of team roping.
Well, in the saddle bronc riding, much about the same, but if you don't like to watch Wade Sundell, then you just don't like to have a lot of fun. This guy is going for it. Check it out. Fast feet, beating the horse to the ground. This is what you like, the flying dismount. Show me the money, baby. I'm telling you, the guy he is outstanding. Fire lane, good saddle bronc. Watch him handle his rein. Look at him turn his toes out, set his feet. He's having fun. I guarantee you, Wade Sundell can talk to you right now while he's riding that bucking horse, 86 and a half. He's just going to step off and, gosh, wouldn't it be fun to be that young again?
26,000 a night it would. In the tie-down roping, same thing. No youngster, king of the Cowboys, Trevor Brazil. He makes this look so easy. Now, the roping gods, they had a little bit to do with this because that loop, a little questionable when it left his hand. But after it went on, right there, it was kind of like, ooh, oh, I caught him. So right there, no mistakes. He makes it look easy, holds the slack, turns him around. A great set of calves, little, fast handling. Trevor Brazil, this is why he has the go buckles. First go around, Rap Mahui. That's taking a chance. Wanting to win a world championship, he does win the first round. Barrel racing, we talked this little girl, young, at the banquet day. I said, first time, are you ready? She said, oh, it's everything I ever thought about. Now it really is. She blasts them out of there. 1384 tonight. One of the only horses that hit the alley running wide open and left the alley running wide open. She eats the first barrel up. After that, she is kicking. Looks like she's going to maybe get the third after she turns the second barrel. But look at the difference. This horse runs to a spot and turns. She's looking at the back wall. She never looks at the barrel, gets his shoulder by. She wins the first go-around at her first national finals.
That is much fun, and Parker Bredding does the same thing in the bull riding. I mean, young guy just comes here. This is his second NFR. Comes from a bull riding family. His daddy Scott been here many times. Round to the right, away from his hand, makes a great bull ride. Now the bull flattens out. He doesn't get away from this bull. See that right there? He stuck a horn underneath his vest. Let's watch this again. Watch when he gets off. The bull kicking real good until about 6 seconds. Now he flattens out, so he doesn't get the propulsion away. Drops right down. Bang! Just gets it right in the ribs. He broke 2 or 3 of them. I don't know if he's going to get on tomorrow night or what, but you know what? He's got $26,275 to make you feel a lot better. I guarantee you, a lot better. You know, bull riding's fun. Look at the horns on this dude.
What do you say, though? It's hard to look cool when you're upside down under one.
I mean, you know, when the last thing you see is the horse's ears when they go between your legs. It's that kind of feeling. But, I mean, you know, about hooked him plumb out of his clothes. And going to be all right. Got some broken ribs. We won't know. If you turn 1 out, you have to turn 2 out. So, a lot of money up. But I thought they'd ride 6 bulls tonight. They rode 4. 2 of the 4 that they rode did not buck as far as the way they qualified to come to the national finals. But, you know, with all this extra money, you know, $10 million in prize money, you know, the go-round pays almost as much as it took to win a world championship 35 years ago. So rodeo is alive and well.
And it's time. I mean, we've talked about it up here over and over, year after year. It's time they step up, make it worth the while. It's worth getting hooked for $26,000. For $4,500,
I'll run back out there and lay down again. Woo!
Donnie, your first year here, what did the go-rounds pay? Do you remember?
$429 for first place. I rode 7 bulls out of 10. I won 3 go-rounds, third in the average, won $3,100, 1972. I had a brand new Buick Electra 225 with a telescopic wheel and an 8-track tape deck. Primo.
You could almost.
I thought as far back as that's going to be, he's going to say he had a covered wagon that had big wheels.
Oh, no.
I thought he was going to say he couldn't see over the steering wheel.
Hey, Dan, he had that box that guy tried to give him when we did that commercial. I got to tell this on Donnie. We do this commercial. We come out here to Vegas. We're going to film this before it came in. We go to this studio. We get stand up. We get the camera front. This guy says, he gets the camera and he says, hang on just a minute. We're like this, you know, we're all ready. He says, hang on a minute. And he starts moving these little boxes around. Donnie said, I ain't getting on that damn box. He said, I'm going to tell you right now, before he brings it over here, I ain't getting on that damn box.
I mean, the guy, he gets it up, and I said, I told you I ain't getting on that damn box.
He didn't get on the box either. He told that guy, he said, you can film up here, or you can film down here, but I ain't getting on the damn box.
Not much has changed, has it?
You
No.
know, I was just trying not to let it get confusing.
I understand. Now, normally, on a normal night, Donnie, we'll have several wrecks to put together for people. Tonight, we just have one in the bull riding. A young gentleman,
You
Dustin
sound like
Bowen.
my daddy. You know, he said, okay, he said, bear down now. He said, when he was trying to sell tickets at Mesquite, trying to stay in business and keep all the bills paid, he said, I want you to ride this bull. But if you don't, get down in underneath him and help me sell some more tickets.
All right. We've got a ticket seller for you then. This young man,
yeah.
This is Dustin Bowen. Colin, if you guys have it racked up back there, let's take a look at it. This is on Cowboy Cool.
I tell you what, this kid from Hershey, Pennsylvania, he lives in Texas now, but his mama still works for the chocolate factory in Hershey. Oh, and boy, this is fun. My daddy had been so proud. I mean, this kid he's going to get his helmet.
At some point, you got to leave the helmet.
Leave the helmet. I mean, come on. You know, I mean, he's up, the lights are on, there ain't nobody home right now, but he is okay. Talked to him in the dressing room, had a big ice bag. He's going to be a little bit sore, but that's okay. He's a young guy. Youth is a wonderful thing. He just gets bucked off. That's going to happen some at the NFR, but that right there, that hurt. I mean, that hurt all the way to the toenails, I'm telling you. But he's okay.
Looked like Mike Tyson looking for his mouthpiece, didn't he, when the trying to find that deal out there. Now, tonight in the tie-down roping, if you saw that, we had a disqualification. And I don't think in the 9 years that we've done this, we've had here at the NFR somebody disqualified.
Well, that rule just got put in place, and it's new.
Joe, let's talk. It's Tyson Durfee. He was the
Yep.
second guy up. He got disqualified tonight. Yep. And even back here, but what happened? What happened?
Well, they have a new rule in place, and it's protect the animals. And, you know, it's a fast-paced event. They're roping smaller calves. They're better calves. They're broke in good. They don't need jerked like that. And they put a rule in to protect them, and it's the backbone. If they hit in the middle of their backbone and all 4 feet are straight up in the air, they're going to flag you out.
Let's take a look, Colin, if you've got that.
This is a tape for the judges to use. It was blatant.
Did Obama tell them to go by the rules?
I don't know, but they want rules.
They had to enforce that one.
Ain't rules right there. That poor kid right there. Look, he's reaching for his helmet, but I really don't think he knows if that's Hershey's chocolate or not.
No.
He wasn't DQ'd. He was KO'd.
I tell you what, good kid. He is ready to ride. But you know what? I had to go back up behind the bucking chutes and went and looked because he couldn't find his bull rope. We don't know what happened to his bull rope between the wreck and him getting back to the dressing room, but they'll find it for the perf tomorrow.
Let's try Tyson now and see on the DQ.
Okay, you're going to see it right here. Now remember, the rule says they can hit the ground on the side, they can hit on the shoulder, they can hit any way but on the backbone with all 4 feet straight up. This horse really works. Tyson makes a great run, but when he gets his slack, you have to get it to the right side or the left side of your calf.
You can do that if you want to, correct?
That's right. That's right. And, I mean, he hit all 4 up at an instant. It wasn't long, but it was long enough that the judge saw it. They flagged him out. He knew it was coming. You see him shaking his head. In the back of your mind, you might think, oh, that's not right. You shouldn't have flagged me out. But he kind of knew it was coming. They take the camera off. We really can't see. It was just an instant, but it was long enough. And, you know, rules are rules. They're not roping them weighing 300 pounds anymore. They don't get run over. They don't tear knees up. They don't break legs like we did tying the calves the day before the rodeo.
I remember the calves were so big one time that my dad had at Grand Prairie, Texas. Roy Cooper is backing in the box, and he's right behind Roy Burke. Roy Burke ropes his calf. I mean, he runs down the rope, and this big 300-pound Brangus heifer met Roy Burke about halfway up.
Your dad liked that.
We were all laughing because we was watching, because mud was about this deep at Grand Prairie Outdoor Rodeo, and he's slogging down there, and this calf hits him, and I mean, he gets down. By the time he got this calf tied down, he had left a collar and 2 cuffs was all he still had on. You know, he comes out of the arena, and boy, I mean, the guys they are being ugly about the livestock, and Roy Cooper backs in, and I mean, and this is like in the middle 70s where he is the king. I mean, he's coming, I mean, he reaches and he sticks it on this calf, and pow! I thought, dang, that calf was really big, and rope broke. He come riding by my dad, waving, he had a breakaway. He had fixed his rope with a piece of baling wire, and he said, I know what I'm doing.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, the second permit check I got, and it was $686 to fill my permit, was at Mesquite, Texas, and I promise you, that bitch was as tall as me. When I backed in the box, it was Saturday Night Live. There was one guy left, and I had to be 15-8 to take the lead, and I won third. Third or second, I won second. I was like 16-something, and when I walked out of the arena, there was 2 guys standing there, and his dad was one of them, and one of them was an old guy that we all know now, I won't bring his name up, but he is a smart, you know what. He said, okay, kid, maybe you will make it.
Guys,
he knows talent's all I can tell you.
Jason, bring up that question. We had a question that came in already. Just kind of scroll that down, if you will. They're talking about the eliminator pin, guys, and when they're saying, how can a spectator know? When
They don't need to anymore. I mean, seriously. There's not an eliminator pin in the bull riding anymore, because the first bull out tonight, bull called Brutus, he's an eliminator, because this bull, I mean, his bucking action wants to jerk you down, knock all your teeth out, and Reed Barker did a good job on him for while he was there. But in the saddle bronc and bareback riding, they put these horses that are all basically the same, where all 15 guys have a chance to, you either have the best horse, but nobody has a Tweedledee, a nice horse to ride, and then something that none of them can ride. That's uneven, that's no fair. That's what you try to do in the timed events, what you try to do in all the events. They don't do that in the bull riding anymore. You don't have to, because there are too many bulls in the breeding programs that we have today, and getting that way in the horses. A bull that the judges will mark over 21 points is going to be one jump and spin left or right, and that's all you really need. You don't need the ones that got horns like the one Parker Bredding had, and you know, make one round jump and kick out there and go out into the middle of the arena and stop and wait for you to get off and then see if you can outrun him. You don't need those kind of bulls anymore.
Well, I promise you, in the timed events, first of all, team roping has no eliminator pin. If you want to gripe about a team roping steer, you don't get off your horse. You don't have to wrestle him around. You don't time. If you gripe about a team roping steer, you need to quit and go back to playing golf.
Divorce, that's the only thing that can happen in
and
team
in the
roping.
tie-down roping and the steer wrestling, they have gone to having such an even herd, and everything's placeable on, like Donnie said. There is not 2 strokes difference in any steer calf in the steer wrestling and the tie down. So we used to have that one pin everybody dreaded. They weighed 300, 350. They kick, they run over you. That was all that. It was fun. And everybody kind of got by that one night. Not as fun as if you were a bronc rider getting by that, but in the timed events, they got it so even now. It's great.
In the eliminator pin, the only one that's really noticeable anymore in the saddle bronc riding, you can buck off 12 of 15 guys. Used to, maybe 35 years ago, before they started that eliminator pin, you never bucked off more than 3 or 4 guys a performance, ever. And it can be done.
We appreciate the question. Let's get to our first guest here this evening. Our time is getting away from us. A lot of people want to come out and talk with you and talk with us. This first young man, we're so glad to have him here. We haven't had a chance to tell him.
I'm glad he didn't tell me to
congratulations.
jump in the lake when I asked him if he would come.
The 2014 world champion bull rider Sage Kimzey is here this evening. Would you welcome him?
Top buckle.
Hey, man. Welcome. Good to have you here. Go right over there by Mr. Joe Beaver.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
You know, when you come to the national finals, I don't care how many times you've been here, how many times you win a world championship, when you don't do what you want to do that night, and it's tough to keep smiling for that first hour or two, and this kid's always smiling, and I appreciate it.
It's definitely disappointing, like you said, coming out. Bad taste in my mouth, but there's 9 more of them.
Sage, we're so glad to have you here, and this is our official congratulations for winning the world title as a rookie, setting all kinds of records last year, and watching you compete this year. When you were up in Cody, Donnie and I were talking about it up there. How old are you now?
21.
Yeah, thanks.
Makes me want to throw up.
You've already got Donnie counting. He's won it once, twice, 3 times. He's 20. Here's your challenge.
We're going to talk about that.
I believe your boots are 22. We're just honored to have you here. Where I was going with that is the maturity that this young man has, Donnie, and congratulations for your first world title.
Well, I appreciate it, and the maturity definitely comes from my parents. Shoot, they brought me up right. I can honestly say that. They mean everything to me, and the person I am now is because of them.
Tell these folks who your dad is.
Ted Kimzey is my father. You probably remember him. He was here for the Wrangler Bullfights for 17 years. My mom, Jennifer, she's been, my rock through all of it, spiritually, emotionally, everything. They really do mean the world to me.
It shows in how you carry yourself here. I think we should do this and just get it out of the way. Let's talk about tonight's effort.
Or lack thereof.
No.
Hey, I thought we were skipping the first round, weren't we? Sage said, next year I think I'm just going to cheer all my guys on and have a beer and think the first round, it's over? I'll start tonight. It's Friday night, second round.
Yeah, just wipe Thursday night off to begin with, and just start on round 2, because the 2 years I've made it here, first round.
First round.
Rough.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at it. Don't blink out there, but here it is. Gone. Let's re-rack that and show it again. I think we have a
Try
replay.
slow motion.
Let's
Take it
not
out.
at all. Can we just wipe that away from history?
Okay, now the guy that owns that bull is sitting on the second row back here, and this bull has never been ridden, but this is the bull's first trip to the NFR, and him scooting out of there and then having this little drop box, nobody thought of that happening, and of course, I couldn't help myself, but when I saw Sage and he was trying to be nice. He's walking down. He didn't say any cuss words or nothing. He's gritting his teeth. I can see these muscles in his jaws. He's walking down the aisle, and I said, "Hey, Sage," I said, "are you still going to be able to come to my show since you're not very tired?" And I thought he was going to kill me.
Yeah, it didn't last very long. I guess working, 1.5 seconds tonight was all I had in me.
But you know what? I got to say this. I had a worse trip than that because I bucked off about that quick one time, and Jim Shoulders said, "Will you get up and move where I can close the gate?" So, hey, it happens to everybody.
Yeah, we don't need to see that anymore. Yeah, that's
Quit.
plenty.
Yeah,
Burn
turn
that.
it off. Jeez.
Stop it before he leaves. He's about to leave if you play it again.
We actually had a shot of the bull in the back smoking a cigarette. What I wanted to, when
Went blank on that one, didn't you?
yeah, it took longer than the ride. Donnie has said many times, Sage, if you think winning that first title is hard, wait till you win your second one. You have followed this year up and built on what you did. Talk about this year of 2015.
Again, back to the support system. There's no way I could have ever done it without the support system and my family keeping me grounded. It's tough. It is coming off that world title. You know, your first one, you're on top of the world. You think you're untouchable. You know, you hear it all the time in professional sports. You can't read your own press. And, you know, the first part of the year I was living proof of that. You know, I thought just because I showed up and I was Sage Kimzey that I was going to win first. And, you know, end of February come around and I had $2,500 won, was it, in a month and a half. And I was rodeoing hard. And, you know, rolled into San Antonio, and I just told myself, I thought, no, you know, this isn't going to be me. There's not going to be a sophomore slump. You know, I'm going to make this happen. And that's when I kind of rededicated myself to the sport and rededicated myself to perfection, you know.
Can you say what that change was? Sage, you knew it was happening. What was the change you made mental?
It was all mental. Like I said, you know, I was drawing mediocre, riding mediocre. I had a terrible attitude about everything. It was just, it was a tough time. Like I said, coming off my first world title, I just kind of expected everything instead of realizing how hard I worked to get everything that I have received.
You know what else I got to tell you? And it's hard. I did it. When you're a rookie and you come in Rookie of the Year and you win your first time, you win that gold buckle, it's such a relief. But then it's like an expectation. So you put yourself in this position that was easy because I did it. So it's going to happen again. But then if you don't watch out, if things don't go real good in the first of the year, because I was the same way. I got to Houston and didn't have any money won. You know, my dad said, look at the sports news. I thought you used to rope Kev. Said you're not in here. You expect yourself to be in that position again, and all of a sudden things turn sour. Your attitude turns sour. Your demeanor turns sour. And if you don't stop it and you don't fix it, then you are a sophomore slump. The reason he's not a sophomore slump, smart enough to see it, stop it, and fix it. That's why he's in the lead here again this year.
I think that's absolutely correct. You were raised the same way I was, Walter, Neil Gay. I bucked off 4 bulls in a row at Mesquite in 1975. I bucked off 9 bulls that entire year, and that's counting the NFR, because I bucked off a 1 out of the 10 in the 75 NFR. My daddy, after the 4th bull bucks me off at Mesquite, he rode up and he went, "And you're the champion of the world?" He said, "Man, it must be easy." I mean, now that hurt. You know, I mean, I'd won the world title in '74 after missing it in '73, just going away, and going away in '75, and I just thought that it was going to keep going.
But that's the difference in a champion. It hurt him. He didn't like that. All of a sudden, he looked up, but he said it like it was yesterday. I had $2,500 when I got to San Antonio. That's been almost a year ago, but you hadn't forgot that. And that's what built that fire back in him to come back and be the champion again, and that's what multiple champions do.
For sure. It was just like what you said. I mean, I looked at those standings, and I wasn't even in the top 50. And, you know,
like it's a misprint.
Exactly. Like, I was used to looking at it and not having to go down the list besides the first place. And, like, that was just my spot. That was what I expected of myself, and that's where I belonged. And whenever, you know, I wasn't there, it was just like, wow. You talk about a shot to your pride. It was awful.
And people think that you're, well, they're just invincible. They're winning. Trevor Brazile, Joe Beaver. You've just seen them down the year. What happens to you is you begin to get trapped in worrying about, and especially your closer friends, some of your family. You start worrying about what you think that they're thinking. This is true, folks. I'm not making this up.
It doesn't matter, and all of a sudden it means everything.
And it means so much, and you're going, and so you got to figure out how to, without alienating your entire family and uprooting everything that's supposed to be good in your life, you have to stop it and win. And that's different than just going and riding a bull or roping a calf. You have to stop it and win. And no matter whether it's ugly, whether it's perfect, you have to win. And that's the plus and minus of rodeo. You know, you are not going to ever have to be beholden to anybody but your maker in this business, as long as you ride like you think you are going to ride. but it takes every day.
That's what Joe was talking about, though. You heard him mention the expectations, and that was the hardest part for me to realize. I hold myself to higher expectations than anyone else in this world ever could. So I had to realize that other people's opinion of what I should be doing, or how I should be doing it, anything like that didn't really matter. And I've heard you say it numerous times. As long as you thrill yourself, that's all that matters. And it was really hard for me to grasp that coming into my sophomore year. It really was.
I'll tell you, just listening to this young man talk, the future of rodeo is good, isn't it? I want to tell you, we've had, and Joe, we won't mention any names here, but we've had other world champions, young fellas, who we had booked on the show, had a horrible night and didn't show, and they pouted, and they did. Not
and
this,
they, and
not
they
this
don't
guy.
they don't show up. But that's the difference Donnie and I talk about.
Yep.
Multiple world championships don't come easy, but they come to those who deserve them and who earn them. And I've said it a million times in all my schools, we compete from here down, we win from here up. That's why this kid wins. It's from here up. It's not from here down. This from here up is going to make him a success story in his own.
Pay this young man off, will you? Sage Kimsey, world champion.
Yeah.
Bull
and
rider,
He's
Sage
21. And I don't know. Let me just ask this question before we let him go.
Okay.
Okay. So, you have any aspirations to be a 9-time champion of the world in the bull riding? I gotta know.
I want to win 10 because you should have had a 9th one.
This boy is extremely nice, and I'm gonna tell you.
Sage Kimsey.
Sage Kimsey, folks.
Hey, and we start tomorrow night, right? Tomorrow night the bull riding starts.
That's a fact. Friday night.
8
that'll be
seconds
my
later,
round
buddy.
one.
Thank you, Sage. Come on down, fellas.
Now that's fun.
Donnie, you alluded to it during that, the gentleman sitting on the second row down here, and let's talk about an award for Frontier Rodeo, and you
All right.
introduced Jerry to these people.
Okay. Stock Contracting Firm of the Year for this year. My boss, Jerry Nelson, and his wife, Beverly. Would y'all
You bet.
round of applause for best people I know. And since I haven't done this commercial, I'm just going to go ahead and do it, Jerry Nelson does not drink Dos Equis. But he is the most interesting man in the world. I promise you that.
That is a fact.
It's good to have you here. Welcome. Thanks for coming tonight. Really great to have you with us. Boy, our time is moving right along. This next young gentleman coming out tonight, it's his first time to the big show.
First time to the big show, first time to do an interview, first time to do the show live. So we're going to first time him to death right now.
And Joe said you need to have this young man from Brazil here, Marcos Costa, the tie-down roper.
Come on, Marcos.
Marco.
Welcome, sir. Welcome. Go right over there by Joe.
Hey, baby.
Look at this good-looking young fella here, huh?
Don't make him mad.
Boy, oh boy.
The arm's on him.
It's good to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you,
you for being here. And when Joe called today, he said, this young man, keep an eye on this young guy. So this is your first time here to Las Vegas, and born and raised in Brazil, left home at 14 to go learn how to train horses and be a tie-down roper. And let's talk about Las Vegas. How's it feeling so far?
Well, I have been here before, and when we come through and go to some roads, Logandale and California, we crossed by here. And last year, his friend called me, he said, you want to go to Las Vegas? I said, no, I just go when I need. And next year, and I broke my ankle, and I couldn't go all those roads because I visa and I cannot buy my card. And all those big ones, I have been 35 roads last year, and that wasn't enough. And for help too, I was in Pennington. I still have a chance to make. I broke my ankle and need to come back to Brazil, getting well.
This young man's already had 4 surgeries, right, on your knee?
Yes, sir. I have a 4 surgery, but I don't think many guys know when I hurt in California in April. And I rope almost all season hurt. Sometimes I barely can walk. And when I done the rope here in 12, December 16, I have to have new surgery schedule already there.
But let me ask you something. You trade all those surgeries are all worth it now, today, tonight. When you rode in the Grand Entry and you backed up in the box to run the first calf, let's go back 10 years. 10 years ago in Brazil, did you ever think this day would happen?
No, I never think I would shake your hand one day.
he was just a little kid the first time I went to Brazil. Junior and he are about the same age, you know, and they're both, and tonight I'm down there standing, you know, doing my talk, and here they both come, and, you know, it's such a pleasure to stop and think that, you know, this is the first for this tie-down roping, you're it. If any other Brazilians come here this way, it's because you paved the way for them. And it's just like Junior and the team roping. And for that to be such an accomplishment and so gratifying, know that 10 years ago, this wasn't even a dream, and now look out here. You're doing the show. You're in Las Vegas, baby.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned a little bit earlier Strand Smith, and he has been a mentor for you as well. And I think, are you still staying there with Strand?
Yes, sir. It's trained like my dad for me. Ever that happened, because he put in himself to work everything. He watched me in Brazil, and he said to me, I could understand. They have a translate there, and he said to me, you want to go to United States rope? Why you don't go? I said, oh, I'm a poor boy, and I barely can speak in Portuguese, and can you imagine go to the rope in the United States? You already say you needed $7,000 to make the national finals. You go to the roads. And he said, I'm go to United States, and you start to work your papers, and we need to have a visa. You came here. And I have a plan for you. Maybe in 3 years, and you start to go to small roads, and we go road. And 6 months later, he called me. He said, I'm gonna road you for help you, and you come. And I put everything to work, and
Here you are. Joe, you talk about what you like about this young man.
Well, there's the first thing is, and if you ever go to Brazil and you see there's a lot of grit down there. You know, the guys that want it, and they work at it hard. Frederico Warwick right down here, he was my translator the first time I went to Brazil.
He taught Joe a lot.
Yeah, he's helped Marco a lot, you know. But the difference is once they go into motion of working at something, and in the tie-down roping, you know, it's so many mechanics, and it's injuries. You know, I said tonight on 2 of the guys roping, I think they're better ropers now after a serious injury than before, because they didn't have the grit. They didn't have the try. It just wasn't there. And tonight they showed both those guys do. Marco's been through all these surgeries. He's got 1 to go. It's not a big deal when you come from where he came from. You know, worked for everything he got. He came over here. He stuck with a plan. He's also, matter of fact, this year got the Horse of the Year, the AQHA tie-down Horse of the Year between Frederico and him. And, you know, all of a sudden you've got a 6 or 7-year-old horse that a rookie because the first time in the finals backs in there to ride the Horse of the Year. The horse is young. The kid's young. But somewhere in there you got to see the format, why it works. You know, it's because of the determination, and the grit that these guys have over there. When they bring it here and put it in motion, results are happening, and we got one right here.
As soon as he came in back in the green room, I heard you guys talking about his run tonight. So let's take a look at that, Colin, if you've got that racked up, and you guys can call it as you seize it here.
We're going to get a chance. The thing he did so good tonight was he was really sharp with his rope. In other words, when the film you just started, you couldn't see a lot. This kid shot left. And in this arena, the box is set behind the fence. In other words, it's behind the arena. You come into the arena. When a calf goes hard left, it's really easy to miss one. Marcos did a great job of standing up. Watch. Okay, this calf darts left right there. See the big follow-through? That loop wasn't like Trevor's. Trevor's was put on by the roping gods. Marcos put that loop on. The only thing he did, you know, we talked about his horse is so strong and works so good is, you know, I said these calves are little. Remember to use your hands. You know, get your hands out in front and shape a calf up, because Donnie, when you commented, he's big, he's long, he's strong, he's tall, he's got a lot of reach. So the next round, if about right there he takes his left hand and runs it 3 foot out in front, moves that calf's head over, he ties him in 8-1 or 8-2 and he places. But, you know, here's the deal. I'm an old guy watching from the side. It looks easy. But when a guy asks you, you give him your best opinion. And if, he takes it to heart right there, it changes him from being 9-2 to 8-1. But it's the first calf of the national finals, and that loop was the most impressive loop of the night.
And that might win the average at his first national finals rodeo, because you got to go rope and tie 10 of them.
I told you before you went, what I say, it's 10 rodeos in 10 days. This isn't one rodeo. This isn't a big deal. It's 10 rodeos in 10 days. And I guarantee you, if 2 years ago we'd have said, hey, Marco, they got 10 rodeos in 10 days, and they pay $1,000 a piece. You want to go? Yes, I go rope. And look at him now, rope for $26,000 a night.
What I like best about eavesdropping on you guys back there, don't ask Donnie Gay and Joe Beaver what they think unless you want to hear what they think.
You messed up if
Just,
you do.
matter of fact, you don't even have to ask them. It's coming anyway. But when Marcos walked in back there, and Joe didn't mince any words. He said what you did right, and he said what you did wrong.
Yes, sir. My first time in the show here, and I already got some school too. Everything working.
Well, it says something to be the first from Brazil. And, Marco came up the hard way, came over here, worked at it. He went to the little rodeos. He got rewarded for it. He got injured. He came back. Perseverance, determination, and the will to win. You can never take away from anybody, no matter where you're at. And for the first guy to send from that country of Brazil, we're very proud of Marcos. He did his country well.
And we thank him for being here. Give him a hand,
Thank you
would you?
very
Marcos
much.
Costa.
You guys.
We have the same shirt, Wrangler. Long live Cowboys. Yeah.
Yeah, come on down, guys.
Pretty good there.
We go from one of the nicest guys to look at the list next.
Yeah. It's a shame Marco's such a homely cuss, isn't it? Boy, he's got it going on. We talked about, let me just run down this list real quickly. A lot of guys injured, some serious injuries here, Joe, before this event got started. So Jake Barnes is not here, and let's talk about why, if you'll address that.
Today, he's had a better day today. They think, send him home and stuff. But Jake Barnes was practicing to get ready for national finals, and horse stumbled, fell on him after he roped the steer in the turn, threw him down, give him a head slam. You see it all the time. It's not that big a deal, you don't think. Gets a head slam. Horse jumps up, kicks him on the way by, kicks him in the head, breaks his ankle. All of this happens at once. By the time Junior gets to him, he's having a hard time breathing. He's not functioning very well. He kind of passes out. They bring him back. He gets back around. They call the ambulance. Well, Jake Barnes, if you know Jake Barnes is tough. So Jake gets up and he kind of starts making sense, and he looks around and doesn't know why Junior's there, and he gets his horse caught. He says, well, get on, let's rope. And Junior says, no, you don't understand. You took a bad fall. We need, the ambulance is coming. You need to go to the doctor. He said, get in that box and heal, or I'll find somebody that will. Got on and run three more steers.
Yeah.
Run 3 more steers with a broke ankle, brain bleeding. The ambulance people come up. They say, we're supposed to take you. He says, I'm not going anywhere with y'all. So I'm a rope, and he goes right in the box. One of the guys gets to watch him, the ambulance, and he kind of lets him do a few things. He says, hey, what day is it? And Jake's, he says, your address? He says, you better come with us. In the hospital 5 days, out of competition. JoJo Lamont's filling in for him. Jake Barnes, one of the true champions, of the sport of team roping, and we just wish him the best.
And people can contribute.
Have already started.
They've
Rodeo
started.
committees
Yes.
gave, the rodeo of the year, whatever they won, they gave some checks away. The contestants have put some in for him, I would almost bet JoJo's going to take care of him somehow, because he's the reason he's here. But, yeah, I can help him. Jake Barnes, there's a fund for him. True champion.
And so, Joe, why then, let's bring it full circle, then JoJo is here.
JoJo
and why
Lamont
is
was the
he,
16th
Yes.
man.
Yes.
He was at Cal Camp. He was first calf heifer to the winner. Got the phone call. Horse turned out. Shoes pulled off. Had 3 days to get ready. Leased a horse from Caleb Driggers. Roped with Junior one time. Run some steers through here the other day with them. And 4-6 tonight wins third
Yes.
and fourth in the go-around. So, things are supposed to happen the way they happen. And it's like JoJo said, first day I got here, he said, man, Joe B., I didn't want to be here this way. I said, well, you're here this way. Make it good at
Make
the
it
end.
pay, yeah.
Yeah, and win all you can. And then if you have a $100,000 week, give him something if you want to. And if you don't, you're here because of an accident. You didn't cause it. Junior needs you because Junior needs the money, and he also needed kind of a boost of support because Jake has been his partner for 2 years, and Jake, a lot like Strand and Federico, they're the ones that got Junior over here. So, I wish the best to Jake Barnes, but it was a bad accident, broke ankle, bleeding on the brain. He wasn't just a concussion.
Okay, thank you, Joe, for doing that. All right, let's bring this next young man. Boy, I don't know if we can get his head through the door. He had a big night last night, didn't he, huh?
Make it
Wasn't
home.
the first time.
No. This is the 2015 Coors Man in the Can, the 2015 Clown of the Year. Justin Rumford is here. Give him a hand, will ya?
I mean, he does everything in
All right. Woo! That was terrible.
Come
Let's
on
try that
down.
again. We gotta get that going a little bit better. You guys doing good? Cool. I'm not going in silent, Joe. You know that.
Boy,
Now we're going to talk
congratulations.
real rodeo.
Let's get real
We got the
right
real
up in
man
here,
now.
okay?
You bet.
I'm not holding nothing back. My coat's like 3 sizes too small, as you can see. So I don't even care anymore, Donnie.
You can tell.
Did you play the Pro Fantasy Rodeo last year?
Yeah, I did. 2 times.
You know what happens to people that bring up stuff like that the next time, don't you?
Oops.
Yeah.
It's called karma, really, when it comes down to it. But it's going to come back around. I feel good about it. I'm a rodeo scholar, so.
Where did you got a tattoo though, didn't you?
I'd like to point this out. I had 2.
Let's Bob and Boyd are here, so I think they need to
Do we?
contribute.
No, we can leave them back there.
So let's bring out the best announcers in the
Oh,
world.
Lord.
Boyd Polhamus and Bob Tallman are here. We need some chairs and
I don't think they're here.
Oh, yeah, we're here.
That's an impersonator.
We're here.
yeah,
He's pretty good when it
give him a
is.
hand.
And you've got a target on you. Hi, brother.
Welcome.
Hi, buddy. Haven't seen you since the shoe shine stand.
Hello, Dad. Have a
Hi,
seat.
Joby.
Have a seat, baby. Have a seat.
Don't you like the way Reno's jacket fits him? I guarantee you, he could stretch the blimp.
These are some new announcers just trying to get going in the business, so stop by and talk to them.
I thought they
Do we
should
want
be
to bring
out.
up his Facebook
I'm gonna be
feed?
nice now since they showed.
Hey, he's currently got on his Facebook feed a video telling people why they should hire him. And his 2 greatest reasons for hiring him is because if you do, your daughter won't get pregnant. Isn't that true?
Yes, that's true. Thanks for bringing that up. It's just got weird.
So he's advertising his services as a rodeo clown. And he's going, look, other clowns will come to town and they won't be funny and your daughter will get pregnant. He goes, I'll come to town and I'll be funny and your daughter won't get pregnant. That's his whole pitch.
He's the king of in vitro, though. Tell him times 3.
Who invited these 2 guys right there? Can we send these guys back? Sir, can we? What happened? We were all having fun, and then Boyd and Bob got here. What?
In case you don't know, he has triplets at home. How old are they now?
They turned 2 in September 28th.
And please understand that he is the father of those children.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
But I'm the one who got his wife pregnant.
He says that at
Is
rodeos.
Is
Like,
that,
what-
but is it a lie?
Not in the sense that you say it.
No, it just leaves the wrong impression, that I'll grant you. It reads, but your wife does not conceive your children without me. And it wasn't like I was in the bedroom with a hard hat telling you to get your hips up. I played a different role.
We lost the show. Sorry, buddy. Tattoo was going to be good, wasn't it?
Is this why I'm always on last? It was. Will you please clarify? My wife is here
go
tonight.
ahead.
I'm not going to tell you where
So
she's
I
at.
It's mine.
I do this at rodeos all the time because it embarrasses him and it leaves him no way to explain his way out of it without sounding cheesy. But we were at a rodeo today, together in the state, Logandale, Nevada, Clark County Fair and Rodeo, and him and Ashley are, trying to get pregnant, not having a lot of luck. I don't know if he's shooting blanks. I don't know. It's not working. So
we all just became best friends right here. Okay?
So
everybody,
we're gonna go see Donnie the next weekend in Corpus Christi. So I am flying home. He is driving from Logandale, Nevada to Corpus Christi,
because it just makes sense.
Yes, right. Which means he needs to fire his agent. But they're having fertility meds shipped, okay? And he doesn't know where to ship them. I'm like, dude, ship them to my place. I'll pick them up. I'll bring them to Corpus. You'll have them, and it'll be fine. So they do. They FedEx them to my place. I truck them down to Corpus. You trace it back 9 months. She's knocked up, and it's because of me.
All right, you know what? This is the first time I've actually thought about that. You're a pretty successful guy, so technically you owe me child support. We take a cash check or.
And it's 3 of them, isn't it? It's a lot of child support.
Each one of my kids owes me about $36,000 right now. All right. I checked that out. It checks out.
So the first question I asked Dan when I got out here and I knew you were on, I said, do you have the footage of Trevor Knowles throwing him at Cody?
We don't, do we?
We did.
Oh, Lord.
We did, but due to a technical difficulty, we should say what happened. Boyd was announcing in Cody this year. Justin was there, and he kept. You were an agitator.
Yes, that's
you're
how
an
I roll.
agitator. Yes. So tell him you were trying to get him.
So usually I'll pay a bulldogger $100 if they'll tackle Rump, okay? And I've paid a few hundreds out, haven't I, over the years? Probably $500-600.
Yeah.
So this
really
time
has.
I say to Rump, Rump, I'll pay you $200 if you tackle a bulldogger. But I looked at the day sheet, and everybody up that night was big enough to eat hay, okay? I mean, they were huge. Well, one of them that's up is Trevor Knowles. And I know that Trevor has just went into the Oregon High School Hall of Fame for wrestling.
And I also know that for the record, okay?
So at any rate, I tell Trevor, I'll give you $200 if you throw Rump. Trevor's not believing me at the time, so I got to ride my horse straight up in his face going, oh, man, I'll give you $200. And he's like, are you serious? Yeah. So then he goes over to Rump, and I mean, he throws him, okay? And I mean, it is a thud. And on the telecast that Donnie and Dan did,
I'm sitting there, I'm speechless. I went,
that
wasn't on the script.
This is why Rumford is such a talented clown. Listen to me, because the best line came later. Everybody was cheering. Rump had gotten thrown. Trevor looked like a stud. It was a great deal. But this is why he's one of the greatest rodeo clowns ever. Later in the rodeo, I ain't heard from Rump in a while. And I go, Rump, you okay? He's going, yeah. Does anybody know what internal bleeding feels like?
That's nobody laugh at that. That's for real. Raise your hand if you ever broken a sternum being a rodeo clown, okay? Hold on.
I wish.
Keep them up. Oh, just me? Just me? Okay. Just want to check on that.
That just lets you know how strong. I mean, when you saw that profile stand up and do the little pirouette, right? Trevor, I mean, he didn't just throw him. I mean, it was
But I let him.
Over,
Well,
ass over tea kettle, right on his back. I mean, I'm going. Wow.
I would like to defend myself, if I could. I walked towards Trevor, who's my friend, okay? I'm an old steer wrestler, so those are my buddies. I walked towards Trevor, and he said, just come at me. I said, what's going to happen? He said, I'll show you. There was a sold-out crowd at the Cody Stampede. So now I'm in a position. Boyd's not talking. There's no music. And me and Trevor are looking at each other in the eye, okay? He is a liar when it comes to wrestling. But I will tell you this. He's a good guy because he's apologized probably 100 times, okay? Because it hurt. And you don't just hurt this. I'm a big dude. You don't just hurt the rump. You know what I'm saying? Takes a lot. Look at this. Donnie.
I did.
Okay.
He called me 3 days later, and he said, man, do I need to give you your $200 back? I said, dude, that was the best specialty act we've ever had. I said, it was worth every penny. He goes, cool, you paid my fees in a 1/4.
I'm going to start working out. So,
Well, just
I'm not going to start working out.
since you didn't see it, they did see the Tyson Durfee. All 4 legs were up at the same time. He hit right on his backbone. Trevor would have been DQ'd.
Pretty much the same thing, yeah. Yeah, right there.
Yeah. I want to, Bob, before we're out, there's a lot going on this week, and Boyd Gaming is responsible for a lot of it. Let's talk about the Boyd Gaming, and let's talk about this shootout. And look at old svelte Joe B right there. This guy is...
He's a part of it.
Yeah. So when he's bashing the team ropers this week, he's going to have to back it up, ain't he?
Did you notice how nice I was to him today?
But he brought the real McCoy with him. The deal's going to happen, and all the faith in the world. This is probably the greatest thing. And since you've known about it, you might not have known about it. The rest of us have all been a part of it for nearly a year and a half. What Boyd Gaming has come up with and is going to masterfully produce is next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 2 o'clock in our beautiful Orleans Arena. We're going to have a shootout. We're better than $250,000. And here's the concept behind it. It's the coolest thing in the world. We've always said, where is there a place to catch up? The 16th guy, we call it the crying hole because he didn't get to go. And God bless Jake, but JoJo got to play, so we bring the next guy in at the 20. The 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th placers in all events, ladies in the barrel race as well, get to come to the Orleans at 2 o'clock on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And you can start getting your tickets immediately, either online or we'll have them available for you here.
$20.
Yeah, I didn't even want to bring it up because it's too ridiculously cheap.
I want to interject here because you can get a deal on them, Donnie.
We got a deal. Keep talking, Bob.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, the deal's a deal. And the cool part of what Boyd Gaming has conjugated and made it's going to be the start of history. I'd suggest you get your tickets now. It's like the grandfathering opportunities because you're going to get them now, and you want to be a part of this in 2015, 16, 17, and for years to come. And there'll be some people, second generations, that'll have these tickets available to them 20 years from now. And all it's going to do is get bigger. Boy, do you got something on
Yeah, I just want to add two things, Bobby T, because, you know, a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, I've ran into some who are naysaying this event, okay? Now listen, this event is not the National Finals Rodeo. The National Finals Rodeo is the greatest rodeo on planet Earth, and we wouldn't even pretend to think for a second that we could rival it, compete with it.
No.
So listen, it's going to be completely different than any other kind of rodeo you ever go see. That was the goal, to bring the fans in to see something that's different. The biggest difference is the format, okay? The reason it's called a shootout is it's a shootout format. And by that I mean guys are trying to earn a position into the final Saturday where they'll win a $20,000 check. And the fans are going to be able to interact with the contestants in ways that you've never had before at other places. We are trying to be an addition, something else that you can enjoy because you're a rodeo fan. We don't pretend to think for a second that we're going to be the National Finals Rodeo. But you're going to have Cody Wright. You're going to have Cody O. You're going to have Fred Whitfield. You're going to have Joe Beaver. You're going to have some of the biggest names in the game, and they're going to compete for you. Not at 7 o'clock at night trying to take you away from the Thomas and Mack, but at 2 o'clock in the afternoon so you can see it and enjoy the National Finals Rodeo. This event is to be a compliment to the 90,000 people who come to this town who love rodeo but have no other place to get it other than the Thomas and Mack. You're going to have another place to get it with guys that you know, guys that you love. You can pick your winners with your app. You can sign autographs in the arena after it's over. You can stay here if you don't have tickets and watch the NFR on the big screen. But we're not here to try to take anything away from the National Finals Rodeo. We are here to add to the fans' experience that come to town. When there was just Cowboy Christmas, people just went and shopped at Cowboy Christmas. Well, then there was the Sands, the Mandalay Bay, the MGM. Now people shop all over the place and nobody complains. And then when the team roping came to the South Point, folks went to the team roping. And then when there's a futurity, they go to the futurity. But this is the only other rodeo you get a chance to see. It will feature people that you know and love. And it's good for the fan. It's good for Las Vegas. And I'm telling you something, Boyd Gaming's risked a lot of capital. They have stuck a lot of funds into this, believing that the 90,000 people that come to this town will consume another rodeo. And they understand they can't be NFR light, so their whole purpose is to do something different, to allow you interaction that you can't get over there, to allow you to pick contestants that like you can over there. And again, we're not competing against them. We're just trying to give you all another rodeo experience while you're in town.
The interactive part of it makes it so much different than any other rodeo on the planet today. And being able to come here and be a part of it. You're not just going to put your butt in a seat. This is a chance for you to get involved, something that you've wanted to do for a long time. It's the News Century production. It's the News Century interactive part from the audience into the arena. And there's a million things to do. I don't know. You got 20 more minutes
Well,
because
I just want to do one little sequence first. Remember last year we were on the Gold Coast stage and we didn't know exactly what it was going to be.
Exactly.
But we all stood on camera and said we knew it's going to be new and different and you're going to like it. That much we knew. So the sequence was the first thing that they did after they came up with the shootout format is they went to the PRCA and they said, can you sanction this? The PRCA said, no, we cannot, but we will bless it. Okay?
Yes.
So the PRCA is not anti this event.
By no
okay?
means.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, we went to the initial PRCA sponsorhood, the family of sponsors that are in the PRCA. But you know what, guys? They're tapped. We tap them out pretty hard here. And so they were tapped, and they declined. Many of them did, not all. Prefert built us a beautiful set of bucket sheets and backpins and shipped them up here. So Prefert's on board. Montana Silversmiths is on board. Those who could, did. Wrangler couldn't because, again, they're already giving us millions of dollars. So they went to Cinch, and Cinch said, yeah, I'll do it. So Cinch gives them a couple $100,000, maybe $250,000, but Boyd Gaming's in it for $1 million or more.
Entire production.
Yeah, and that's
Plus a
everything.
facility.
But we're talking 35-foot big screens inside that arena. 35-foot big screens. When we show a camera of a guy rising his rope, it's going to be like you're sitting on the back of the bull with him, okay? So, again, the whole goal was just to add an additional rodeo experience for the fans that came to town to enjoy the National Finals Rodeo. It is not a competitor to it because if we tried to compete against it, we'd get our butt kicked, and we readily admit it. But we also say, you know what? Cody Wright finished 16th in the world, and we like to watch him ride bucking horses, don't we? Okay? And there's some young guns that didn't quite make it into the NFR that are future champions of tomorrow that are going to be a part of this. Others were invited by basis of their names and their stature. Both Fred and Cody didn't finish 16 through 19. But who doesn't want to see Fred and Cody go head-to-head? I do, right? So it's going to be a great deal. Don't let the naysayers, because, again, the PRCA is not against this, even when they asked. Now, we do have a contract with Wrangler for exclusive rights. So even when they promote it at the Thomas and Mack, they're promoting this event at the Thomas and Mack. They just don't put the Cinch name up there, and Cinch is cool with it. So it's just like, that's all right. Just tell people it's going to happen, so if they want to come over here and watch it, they'll know about it. So there's not the animosity that sometimes people portray with regard to this event. It's just not there. It's a family. It's a rodeo family. And every person we're going to have there has a PRCA card. You know who's in the bull riding? J.W. Harris. Okay? So I'm just telling you, it's going to be people you want to see, people you know, and you can have a great time. We'll take 2 hours out of your life each day, and you'll be glad that you enjoyed this rodeo, and you'll have plenty of energy ready for the big one, the daddy.
Well, when you say 2 hours, it probably won't last 2 hours, maybe an hour and 45, 50 minutes. From the conceptual standpoint of when it was all talked about initially, and one of the things that I've heard in the last month, we tried to get a room at the Orleans, and it's booked. The room packages have given people that haven't had a chance to get tickets at the Thomas and Mack a chance to get a hotel and tickets, and all of a sudden, Boyd and I and our Boyd Gaming team for the last 8 months have been talking about it on the road, and everybody, all we've been doing is sending them to the website, BoydEvents.com, BoydGaming.com. Take the link and run with it, and it worked. And this will tell you how many people have been here for years. And you know what? We've spoiled them with our hospitality and the big screens. And this goes back to when you and I started here, you know, years and years ago. This is a chance for you to come and be a part of something. And so if you didn't get a room here, hope you're staying at Gold Coast. And we've been shoving people over there for quite some time. The concept is absolutely perfect. Roger Mooney, my attorney, Roger RPM, and I are blessed to be the voices over there. So we'll probably tell you some of the same old lies, and you've heard them in Abilene, Texas.
And your rodeo clown is going to be Justin Rumford.
I was going to say the wide body, 747. We'll run him in. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the same thing that we do every place. We're going to bust our butt to give you the finest production, but it's 8. And I mean, when we hit with 8, we're going to ride them and click them.
And I've been told that the bareback horses, and we 10 different stock contracting firms.
I've got the list. It's amazing.
The first night, you'll be lucky is even though we've got these great contestants, if they ride the first 3 horses, they're going to buck. I mean, it's going to be.
There's no tweets.
Right.
There's no tweets.
Tweet. This thing's good. If you like seeing guys have to muscle up to hang on, well, get ready. Frontier supplying stock, Vold supplying stock, Survey supplying stock. I mean, they're going to be there, and they're going to be some jam-up horses.
It's gonna be a great event, and for an hour and 50 minutes out of your afternoon, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, it's going to be a lot of fun. Boyd Gaming, the properties, Bill Boyd was one of the original guys with Benny Binion that started the National Finals Rodeo. This is a Las Vegas event, and it's going to be wonderful, and we hope you participate.
Well, the cool thing is that for you old hairy-legged buggers who don't want to go shopping all day and you want to find something to go do, instead of sitting in a coffee shop someplace having a smoke, you can come and watch this in this beautiful arena. And it's well known. You might come one day, you're going to get hooked. You want to come all 3 days. The key to its success is acceptance. And Boyd nailed it perfectly when he said, we visited with the PRCA. We laid it out to Carl Stressman and the entire board of directors and said, if you would like to sanction this, if you want to make the money count for next year, if you want to add it on to whatever it was, it's bonus money. No, this is championship winning money.
But we had to be so different in our presentation, so different from what you would see at any other normal PRCA rodeo, that our format couldn't coalesce with the existing PRCA rules.
Exactly.
And again, I have found them to be the PRCA to be very amenable to this event. And as long as they're protecting Wrangler where Wrangler needs to be protected,
You
they
bet.
have no problem with Cinch's name being affiliated with this event.
By any means.
Yeah, and so it really is. I just sense sometimes that there's like, well, they don't have. I heard one guy tell me they don't have the Pro Bowl on top of the Super Bowl. Well, here's the deal. You're right, but this isn't the Pro Bowl. This is just another rodeo that features some contestants that all of you have come to know through our years here in Las Vegas, and they're going to compete in a different format, and you can watch it if you want to.
Well, Donnie can tell you of the horses that you all are going to feature with Frontier. Pete Carr's got 6 head of horses here. Every one of them have been to the NFR. And any rodeo producer that's at that level that brings horses here every year, they're only going to take so many of them. This is a place for them to add on to.
And the final 3 on Saturday,
Big time.
C5 makeup face they won Cody on this year. R.C. Landingham with an 88-point ride.
And he'll be here to ride.
Virgil, Tommy McFarland won Houston on 2 years ago with a 94-point ride. Those are the final 3 horses in the shootout round on Saturday night. I mean, it's going to be good watching.
The thing is, when you
Saturday
go
afternoon.
8, 8, 6, and then 3, this is where the format change that makes it different than any other place in the world.
And
if
you
you've
could
never
go on
been to
that-
one of these kind of contests, you are going to love it, and you will have the opportunity. Don't have to, but you are going to participate.
with that app. That is
Yeah.
going to be outstanding, something different. Of course, with all my computer skills, I may watch this year.
Donnie, tell them how they can also save on their tickets.
Okay, so you
Chris
go
told
to
us just tonight.
boydgaming.com and
Or Boyd Events.
and you can go to the box office. It
Right
will be
now.
open tomorrow.
Yes.
Any of the box office at Boyd Gaming, you put in your promo code LV Shoot, CHUTE, LV Shoot. You get $5 off. So it's going to cost $15.
They're already
to
cheap
go
enough
to a
we can
great
nearly
event.
give them away, but saving $5. And I'll tell you what, in budgetary times ahead of Christmas, I think that is a rare opportunity. Thank you, Boyd Gaming, again.
Okay, again, $20 ticket just got to 15, and I'm going to see J.W. Harris, Fred Whitfield, Cody Old, Cody
Joe
Wright,
Beaver.
Joe Beaver.
R.C. Landingham, you talked about it.
Yeah, so, yeah.
And Justin.
And Justin. Well,
Oh.
okay.
Yeah, don't forget. Why are you just passing me
He
up right
It
now?
was all about you. And now you said child
Yeah, I've
support.
been sitting
he hasn't
over
said
here.
another word about you.
I'm just sitting over here not doing anything.
And
you
I'll
just
bet
forget
you
it
we
up.
talk about his triplets at least once out of 3 performances.
Joe, who are you roping with?
I'm roping with a kid named McCoy Pro Philly that made the permit finals last year, made the All-American finals. I kind of took him. He wanted to go. Found out about this deal, and honest to God, I probably roped more the last 2 weeks than I have in 4 years.
Yeah, well,
He's
you
somewhere.
ain't going to be no walk because Randon and Jay Adams from Nevada, world champion Randon Adams.
If it was a walk, I wouldn't enter it. I don't want to
Amen.
lay up.
Okay.
It's going to be great watching.
It's like riding a bike, Joe. You know what I'm saying?
Bullshit. That bike is a lot harder to ride these days.
We're so glad you could join us for our first night here at the Orleans for our 9th season of National Finals tonight. Would you give all of these gentlemen up here a wonderful round of applause? And we hope to see you at the shootout as well. Let me tell you, for all the folks, the YouTube viewers and all that, we are going to close out our portion of the show. We need you to stay right here. We have wonderful prizes to give away. We're going to do that after we do these closing credits. Thank you for being with us. Stick around for some great prizes. Thank you.
Thank you for watching and attending the show. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of National Finals Tonight Show at the Orleans, where all the Cowboys go after the rodeo. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Get your tickets to the Cinch Boyd Gaming Shootout Rodeo, December 10th, 11th, and 12th, right next door. Prices start at $20 for the new way to rodeo. Head to the Buck and Ball Saloon for live music and dancing, beer and drink specials, and best of all, no cover charge. We're going to dance and party till the cows come home at the Buck and Ball.
Hello, guys.